Larry Graves, the Canadian Studmuffin, who, if you're watching this, you probably know. He's a big Beatles YouTuber. Well, not just Beatles, but like he does an awful lot of music content, and I've watched a load of his videos over the years. He's celebrating 20 years on YouTube. Wowzers. I mean, if I can get to 20 videos, I'll be happy. So he's having a contest to celebrate his 20 years on YouTube. I just want to say, I didn't even know about this contest through his channel. I knew about this contest because another Beatles YouTuber, Beatles, gave me a shout out in his video, which was entering the contest. That'll become clear later. But I just wanted to, I'm not even that bothered about entering the contest, to be quite honest. But I wanted to do it just to say, thank you so much to Beatles. He's genuinely one of my favorite YouTubers, and one of the inspirations for me starting my own YouTube channel. I've had the odd comment back and forth with him. All of his content's great. You should go and check it out. I should save this for later. But yeah, thank you so much for the shout out, Beatles. Really appreciate it. So this is just going to be a very quick, rough and ready contest entry because I can't be bothered to get my microphone out. So hopefully the sound is fine. And I'm going to do minimal editing, if any at all. So it's going to be live and unfiltered, too hot for TV, Apple Jams. Let's do the shtick. Hello, and welcome to Apple Jams, your Beatles and solo Beatles hangout. I'm so glad to see you here, so glad you could come. I have one little baby request, and that is if you would please me by smashing a like on this video and subscribing if you haven't already. That would really help me if you can. Whilst we're doing the rough and ready, by the way, nobody's actually, in all the comments that I've had, and there've been a lot on the last video, which was the Brown album, link, I think it's this side. Yeah. Link up there for the Brown album, which was basically my kind of tongue-in-cheek worst of the Beatles album that I put together. Just my opinion, okay? Nobody's actually picked up on any of the Beatles references. I'm sure they've been noticed, but I'd really be interested if you can pick out all of the Beatles references in my usual sign-on. Yeah, just put it in the comments. It'd be interesting to see how many people get them all. So, anyway, Canadian Studmuffin is doing a contest to celebrate 20 years on YouTube, and he's asked for people to enter the contest by making a video and answering, how many questions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So here we go. And the first question is, shout out 3 of your favorite YouTubers. So this is an easy one. I'm going to start with Beatles. It's not tit for tat or anything like that. I genuinely do really like his content, and I've already said everything that I want to say about Beatles already. But you should absolutely go and check him out. I'm sure that if you are watching this now, you probably subscribed to him already. He's genuinely my favorite Beatles YouTuber from across the pond, and I always love watching his content. Second of all, I want to shout out to Ollie Saunders, who's a British Beatles YouTuber, not just Beatles, but broader in terms of like having a music channel. He tells it how it is. He's a northerner, so that's cool as well, because he's like me, from the north of England, I should say. And he does really interesting videos. He does like a lot of album reviews, which I wouldn't touch with a barge pole because I don't know. All I know is what I like, to be honest. But he's really knowledgeable. He really does his research on the subjects that he talks about. And yeah, I just really enjoy watching his videos. So go and check him out. And lastly, these are in no particular order, by the way. Lastly, Dinner with Greedo. Again, one of the inspirations for me wanting to start my own YouTube channel. He's a Beatles YouTuber. I think he says something like on his description, he says with a difference or something like that. And it's genuinely true because he's a funny guy, and he always makes me laugh. He has these series, so he has a series called My Missus versus the Beatles, where he gets his Beatles not hating, but dislike, not particularly interested in the Beatles wife to listen to Beatles songs, and tries to get her interested in them. It's always very fun. The two of them together are very, very funny. Oh, and he also does the Beatle board with Beatley Tone, which is well worth a watch. Again, if you're watching this, you've probably seen it already. But yeah, okay, so those are my 3 favourite YouTubers. The next question is your 5 favourite bands. So Apple Jams is a Beatles and solo Beatles channel. It's going to come as no surprise that my favourite band is the Beatles. Beyond that, I really like the Beach Boys, mostly because of Pet Sounds, if I'm being honest. I've heard Pet Sounds and the Greatest Hits. I've not really explored their discography outside of that. I got the Sail on Sailor 2-disc version last year. I've got Smiley Smile and Wild Honey, I think it's called, which is another kind of compilation. But that's it. I'd quite like to get hold of the Smile sessions, but I do actually have Brian Wilson's Smile from, what was it, the mid-noughties, sometime like that. But yeah, so pretty much basically on the strength of Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys are one of my favourite bands. These aren't in any particular order other than obviously the Beatles are my favourite band of all time. After that, I'd say the Hold Steady, who are kind of like an American rock band. I've seen them live a number of times. I just think they're fantastic. So if you've not heard of them, go and check them out. Led by a guy called Craig Finn, who's a really, really good lyricist. He can really write incredible kind of like story-led songs. My 4th favourite band are Bon Jovi. When I'm in the mood for that kind of song, there's nobody better in my eyes. Just kind of like, it's especially when I'm driving and like, you know, you're on the motorway and you just kind of want to let loose a little bit and blast out some tunes. Bon Jovi are always a go-to for me. So yeah, maybe a little bit out of left field considering the other stuff that I'm into, but that's number 4. And finally, British band The Smiths, led by Morrissey, from the 1980s. Yeah, really great band. I've got most of their albums, I think. They didn't actually do all that many, but they're absolutely brilliant. Strange Ways, Here We Come is one of my favourite albums. So that's the 5 favourite bands. 5 favourite solo artists is the next question. Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison. Sorry, Ringo, you don't quite make the top 5. I love you, but there are other people that I like above you. I really like Johnny Cash as a solo artist. Got loads of his CDs. I'm always in the mood for a bit of Johnny Cash. What a voice. And speaking of voices, another favourite solo artist is Frank Sinatra. What a voice that he's got. Absolutely love listening to Frank. So yeah, that's 5. Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, Johnny Cash, and Frank Sinatra. 5 favourite albums. So again, it's going to be pretty Beatles dominated. I would say that Revolver is my favourite album, followed closely by Abbey Road. Then we move away from the Beatles into solo Beatles. So Ram is my next favourite album. And then All Things Must Pass by George Harrison, which is absolutely phenomenal. And finally, a non-Beatles related album, Stay Positive by the Hold Steady. One of the reasons why they're one of my favourite bands is because of this album, and it is absolutely fantastic. So go and check out Stay Positive by the Hold Steady. Finally, the final question is, what are your best and worst concerts? I'm going with Paul McCartney, who I saw in Hyde Park 2010, out in the open air in the beautiful sunshine of London. And he played, 2010, how old would he have been? I'm not sure, but I remember thinking, you know, he's however old he is, and he's playing 3 hours straight, and that is incredible. And just tune after tune after tune. I've got a set list here actually. Venus and Mars, Rock Show, Jet, All My Lovin', Letting Go, Got to Get You Into My Life, Highway, the Fireman one, Let Me Roll It, The Long and Winding Road. I could go on. What a concert that is. And it was a really special event actually, because they were having this festival during the World Cup of 2010, and England were playing Germany that day. So they put it on the big screens, and unfortunately England lost to Germany, but it was a really controversial match because Frank Lampard like cannoned in a goal which hit the crossbar and then bounced down and went over the line, but then bounced out of the net. So they didn't give the goal because they didn't see it cross the line. And it was this huge moment because all of the pictures afterwards clearly showed the ball had crossed the line, so England should have had a goal, and that could have changed the entire match. But we didn't have VAR then, so for my American viewers, VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee, and that's a new initiative that came in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. It's been very controversial ever since. But anyway, I'm digressing. So, favourite concert, Paul McCartney, Hyde Park, 2010. Mwah, chef's kiss. Worst concert. So, in the mid-noughties, I went to see a concert with my then girlfriend in London, and it was for her benefit more than mine, if I'm being honest. So she wanted to go and see it. She asked me to come, of course, I'll go with her. But it was a band called Turbo Negro, who I think are Danish. I think there's some kind of Scandinavian anyway. But they're just not for me. It was a painful experience. It was just so loud, and I think they're a kind of like glam rocky kind of metal-y band. I don't even know, to be honest. I can't remember. But I just remember the feeling of thinking, goodness me, this is torture. I just felt like I was being assaulted. And it was quite funny because there was a group of us, and we were at the front, like waiting to see the concert. My girlfriend was quite keen to be quite close to the front, so we had to wait for ages because we wanted to be at the front. And we got chatting with the bouncers, and one of my girlfriend's friends was saying to the bouncer, "Oh, aren't you excited? This is going to be great." And the bouncer said, "That's not the Beatles, is it?" I was like, "Yes, thank you." I gave him a high five. So that's it. Okay, so I'm going to send this over to Larry. Congratulations, Larry, on 20 years of YouTube. If I can get to that milestone, I'll be very happy indeed. As I said before, I'll be happy to get to 20 videos. But what an amazing achievement. Well done to you. And yeah, hope you enjoy this entry. And for everyone else, if you've enjoyed this, please do give me a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It's really helpful. And there's lots more content to come from Apple Jams. So please do keep tuned. And I'll say ta-ra for now. Thanks for watching.